Hello, hello, everybody, everybody. What's cracking? What's happening? What's going on? How is everybody doing, guys? People of the sea, people of everywhere. What does one want in a relationship? Is the question. Let's talk. Guys, before I get started, this is a warning to some that have not been on my channel. I'm just going to be talking about this relationship stuff. If you want to hear me out, you can hear me out. I'm nowhere near a doctor, nowhere near a scientist, nowhere near a psychiatrist. I just see the facts behind everything, and I do a lot of real talk. So if you want to hear that, real talk, facts, the way I feel, my opinions, you can keep watching. If not, you can click on. With that being said, hello everybody. Let's talk about this. What does one want in a relationship? Guys, I'm going to say this for the new people here too as well. I've been single for almost 10 years, almost. I'm at 9 years right now. And I'm living my life, living my best life, living happily single. I'm literally happily single. I don't have to worry about anything, anybody telling me what to do. I don't have to worry about what we gotta eat tonight. I do my own decisions. I'm very independent in myself. But I just, I think I said this in the past about relationships. Like, since I've been single for so long, it just, I see everybody's relationships. I've seen multiple relationships kind of similar, you know. And when I talk about, what does one want in a relationship, I'm not just talking about, if they're, hold on, I gotta sneeze, but I don't want to sneeze. But I'm not just talking about, their personality or their looks. Yeah, personality, looks, but sometimes it's kind of sticky if you ask me. But sometimes oh, by the way, guys, the sun is setting, so it's really bright in here, and I'm drinking my H2O, but at the same time I'm sweating, like literally sweating over here. I don't want to put the fan on because it makes a little bit too much noise. Hello, welcome in. Don't forget to hit that little like button. It's so tiny you can't see it. There's a lot that goes into it that I see on a lot of relationships. I hang around with the guys mostly, so I see more of a guy's perspective than a female's perspective, because I don't really have too many females in my life. I don't really know too many that I could hang out with, and I just don't know. So, and then the male's perspective, I understand 1,000% why a man cheats. And again, be open minded when coming to my channel. Please, please, please be open minded. But I understand, because how does one choose? What does one want in a relationship? That why another person has to like another person? Our feelings are all over the place when it comes to a relationship. We like the person that we're with. It's understandable. We don't want to lose them. However, it's okay. It is okay, guys. It's okay to like someone else because of who the other person is. I don't know. I guess I'm just so corroded and so jacked up from being single that it makes so much sense. And I myself know that females are so much prettier, there's so much beauty in a female, that a lot of females have a lot of natural beautiness looks. A lot of them have just a beauty inside. Like, I can see why men have a hard time choosing a woman. I could see that. At the same time, it's just like I don't know about a male because I can't see a lot of males are handsome. All of them are handsome. What the heck, because I don't know. I don't know that perspective from being a woman into liking a man, because I'm like, I see some men and I'm like, okay, hello, hello, welcome in. I see some men and I'm like, okay, and they're like, some people literally ask me, what is my type in men? Now, that is a serious question for me because I'm like, I don't even know. I don't even know. And it's so like, sometimes I do like, long hair, maybe slick hair, um, probably, a clean cut shave beard, ish. And it's so like, it's kind of mixed emotions because you can like those things in a person, their looks and stuff, but the person inside may be different. Now, how does one be in sort of relationship, and how does one choose a person when there's so many people out there, like literally? And again, I'm not talking about loyalness. My man has to be loyal, my woman has to be loyal. Loyalness has went to the trash. It's a piece of paper, it's crumbled, and you just aim for the trash. Not too many couples are loyal, just period. How could, like, I don't know. Again, I guess I'm so corroded in my mind that it's like, how can one be loyal? How can a man be so loyal to this female and then dedicate their self to this female when there's another female that is absolutely amazing? Like, maybe she doesn't have the perfect body or anything like that. She's probably low maintenance, and then you like her personality. Like, I see why Indians have several wives. Like, you can't choose because you really can't choose a perfect person. You really can't. If a person can be so perfect, a man can't choose it. One person, okay, I want like, this is an example. I want my female to cook. I want my female to clean good. I want my house smelling good. I want my house feeling cozy. I want them to be expressive with their emotions, feminine, smell good, And so, like, there's so much to want in a person that you can't have it all. A lot of men like, oh, my woman does everything. Well, maybe, but then they come upon me and they meet me and they're like, whoa, my woman never does that. And so, like, well, there you go. So it's like, in my perspective, the way I see a lot of men towards me, a lot of men like me in general. Like, I'm not putting my freaking, what do you call it? I'm not feminine, in other words. I'm not high maintenance. I'm nowhere near those things. I'm just being me. And I'm being open. I'm being myself. And I'm quirky. I'm hilarious. I do things women don't do. And then there's some women that do these things, but not a lot of women. You're telling me a feminine woman, don't get me wrong, there's some out there, don't get me wrong, be open minded. But you're telling me this feminine woman that has their nails, like just their nails being done, you think she's going to be putting up sheetrock? You think she's going to be painting the walls? You think she's going to, hammer and drill, get into an engine bay? That's, like I said, there's some women out there that do that. Some of them can be feminine and still do manly things, like lift up heavy boxes and doing all this, So, yes, it makes sense. But again, how does one get in a relationship? Because there's a lot to choose. Not only personality, but cleanliness. And, it's just, I drink my H2O real quick. It just, like, opens a big whirlpool for me. I got to this subject because I have a homie that I hang out with occasionally. Like, literally occasionally. I've talked about him in my my whole live streams a lot of times in my live stream. My homie, we hang out. We kind of we kind of hit it off. We were okay. I like him, but I'm not gonna say I love him just yet. I just want to get to know him as a person, not a person for a relationship, because I don't think I could do that at the moment. I got my own boundaries. I got my own ways. My independence comes first. So he talks to this one chick. This one chick, she knows that he messes around with other females. So he's like a jumpy female person where he, sleeps with one female to another female to another female. But anyways, but every night they talk. And it gets me kind of confused because it's like sometimes when I'm over and she needs to talk to him or she calls him up, he tells me to quiet so that way she doesn't hear you, but yet she's not understanding, that you are with me. Like, I don't know, it's sticky. Like it's really sticky because I'm gonna confront him and probably in a few minutes. But I'm gonna confront him because it doesn't make any sense on my behalf. Because if you are truly want to be in a serious relationship, why would you want to hide being faithful? Is my question. So that means you can't be faithful. That means you can't be loyal. You can't be straight up with them because I mean, do you see my flow? Like, you're talking to one female and she's over here like she doesn't know what you're doing, but she lives far away. But you can't figure out if you want to commit. So it's all like, it's just point blank to me because I don't even know. Like, it's so sticky that I don't even know. I'm all like, I mean, be so for real. I'm gonna ask, like, where do you think you're gonna go? Where do you think you're gonna go? Because that is still behind you. Your curiousness for other women are still there. You're still there. Like, you're curious about different types of women. You have crushes everywhere. Like, ugh. Anyway, so that's what got to me. That's what got me talking about this subject. But like I said, that's the question. Like, you like her because of I don't know what, but let's just put it in an instance. This person's in a relationship because they're feminine, they smell good, they're very pretty, they're attractive to the eye, and then you meet another person that has good personality and doesn't do woman things, and it's like, oh wow, you open another door. And then you have another person that she cooks so good, like she's the chef. She is absolutely amazing at cooking. And then you have another person that there's so many, like, ah, I don't understand. It gets me annoyed to figure, like, I don't know, how does one be in a relationship, like, what are you looking for? What are you looking for? Because me, it's not like I'm looking for someone to be independent, self-independent, just like me, that has basically the same rhythm. That no matter what happens in life, you got this. Like, a good independent person. That's what I want in a person. That's what finds me very attractive to another person. Once they find their self independence, their goal, their achievements, why they're here on this earth for. Like, you know, the definition of life is finding yourself. You'll find yourself, find your way, find the rhythm where life wants you to be. There's a lot of people that get accidents. They have kids together and they weren't really supposed to have kids, but then they had kids. Like, that one day, happened. And it's all like there's some relationships that weren't meant to be for each other. Hello, welcome in. But there's some people that are stuck with each other because of their kids, and that is so sticky. Ugh. Me personally, hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna go over fill my cup real quick. Me personally, I don't believe in child support at all, because why would it? I mean, it's always the man has to pay, but not the woman has to pay. It's very rare in the court orders that the woman will lose custody. Very rare. It's only like the percentage. I can't say the percentage, but I can say the majority is because maybe the mother is a psychopath, and the mother is not obtainable of keep handling the child and whatnot. So then they give it to the father. But mostly, it's always the father that has to be the quotation provider and being child support. And I never believed that, because if y'all two decided to sleep in bed and an accident happened, that is totally on both of y'all parties. Y'all continue, y'all have literally, and also too, religious belief gets in the system, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that gets in between the system. But hear me out. Y'all got 9 months to decide if you'll want to keep it. Just let that sink in. And yeah, people are against abortions. I understand. And that's just such a topic for another day. But if you're going to choose to bring life in this world, you choose it together. And y'all have to make a commitment to stay with each other through the time being that the child is probably, it depends on how you raise them, because sometimes some children, they don't want to leave the house. They're 18 years old and they don't want to leave the house. So it's all like, you gotta be with that person for at least 18 plus years. That's a full on commitment to be in a relationship that you do not want to be in, because you hate the baby mama. You may hate her because, oh, she's so crazy, or, oh, he's just a cheater, blah, blah, blah. He's a cheater, then why'd you open your legs and say you committed? Like, you committed as soon as that baby came out. Again, I don't understand that. I feel like that's a topic for another day. Hello, hello, welcome in. But yeah, so why does one choose? What does one person want in a person? Like, I want to know from y'all too. I get so confused. Like, looks, guys, they're deceiving. Just because a person looks good doesn't mean anything. Just because a person looks handsome don't mean anything. You got a pretty boy, all the girls and the women are going to try to be attracted to him. You got a pretty woman, all the males are going to be attracted to her. And it's all like, the majority of people that get attracted to me is because the way I am. They don't really see many people like me because I'm a rare batch. I'm a rare batch. And so I'm not trying to be cocky over here, but I'm just letting you know on my perspective how I see people in relationships. And on my behalf, it's always the same thing, where it's all like a lot of people have to lie about where they're gonna be, and be like, they don't want to say, oh, they're at this female's house. Again, if you're open with your relationship and you tell your female, the person that you're with, that, hey, I'm gonna be at this chick's house, she better not flip out. If she's open minded, you know, because as soon as the male tells you, I'm gonna be at this chick's house, oh, she's gonna flip out. But then she says, again, it gets mixed emotions, but then she says, you can tell me anything. You be up front with me. You be up front. Okay, if you want me to be up front with you in this relationship, then I'm going to hang out with this chick. Bam. So, like, I'm not saying the first date, but I'm saying a couple of dates that you're with this person, go the opposite way. This is such bad advice, and I know, but this is going to teach you a lot of things about this person that you're going to be trying to commit with. If you're going out constantly over and over with this person, and then you constantly have these dates, switch it up. And switch it up, and then if she's like, let's say basically, if she wants to hang out, here's the scenario that I'm playing out. But if she says, hey, you want to go eat some tacos later on, and then he's like, no, not right now, I'm gonna hang out with this chick, me and her, we're gonna chill at the movies. See what her reaction is. Same thing with the male. Do the same. I mean, the female. See, the female needs to do the same thing. Oh, hey, we're gonna hang out. No, I'm actually hanging out with this one dude. We're actually in the movies. See what the reaction is. The reason being, it's a test. It's a mofo test. How a person is gonna react in the opposite way. Because you want an open relationship. I mean, open-minded relationship. Don't say open because people be like, "Oh my God, he talked about swingers, blah blah blah." But how does one choose to be in a relationship? Like, I don't know. I'm just rambling and wanting on, but there's so much out there. I can't choose myself. Like, I see one person, I see, oh, he's a kind person. Oh, he looks like he's be a friendly person and stuff. And you want to hang out with him, but then you see another guy and you're like, oh, I care for him too, and I want to hang out with him. Same thing with the females, with the males to the females. Oh, she's cool. I love her the way she is. And then over here, this girl's so feminine and she's so nice. And this other girl, she has a big booty, and it's like, dang, I love her booty. And then this other girl has big boobs, and you're like, oh, I like this big boobs. The list goes on and on. Like, there's so much out of a person. That's why I understand why males do what they do. Because from coming my perspective from males, females, they're really not gonna have. They're not gonna pay attention to the fat males. A lot of males too. Fat women. It's majority of like femininity, the way they carry themselves. And I have not really met a guy that says I'm looking for a self-independent person. Mm-mm. Every guy that I have talked to, and I ask him a question about, what are they looking for in a person? Whenever anybody gets asked, you ask that anywhere. They're like, personality. Not one has said independence, because that's what I'm looking for. Is a person that can be self-independent, pay all their bills themselves, do everything themselves, and that way that you won't carry a big load on your back. Hello, welcome in. Because let's face it, half of the freaking relationships, and I understand it makes sense, but half of the relationships are what's yours is mine, what's mine is yours. Come on, guys. We're in 2026. I understand that. I truly understand that. But at the same time, it's so sticky. At the same time, I understand it. At the same time, I don't, because it's like, once you've been independent for so long, it's all like, no, you buy your own chips. Our chips are shareable, so it makes sense. But you buy your own things. You buy your own this. You buy your own that. Like, I don't know. Again, being single really does mess you up. Really does. Hello, welcome in. Come on in. I want to know from y'all guys, what does one want in a relationship? What do you want in a relationship? There's no such thing as faithfulness, guys. It's very rare to have a guy. Like, even though, and it's funny too, because I test the waters, guys. I literally test the waters. And I'm not a person that wants to break up a relationship. I'm not a person that wants to break up a relationship, but I like to test the waters on their relationship. So, this might sound so effed up, but there's some men that are like all hugging up on their chick, right? And then it's all like, okay, let's test them. I'm gonna test him, not her. I can test her too, as a matter of fact, because I can easily test her. But we're gonna test him. So I go up to him, he's cuddling, and I say, hey, what's going on? And then I find his pin interest. That's all you gotta do, is find the interest. Whatever he's in. What you into? Okay, you talk about the subject. Oh, well, sure enough, he's gonna sit up and be like, oh yeah? And he's gonna be talking to me like that. Like that. I mean like that. Because I gained his interest of whatever he was interested in. And now he no real longer wants to, cuddle her. He's all like, oh, hey, yeah, you know that you like that type of car, or you have that type of car. Oh my God, this is so awesome. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, you went there. And you again, it's just a horrible way, of me saying that, but it's true. Sometimes I do. I test the waters on some of these relationships. Like, it'd be so jacked up of me, but I want to see how faithful a man can be. And the majority of them, not faithful. The majority of them, nope. And again, I'm not trying to break up a relationship, but I'm just testing the waters and see if that person really is what they say they are, towards the other person. I don't know. But yeah, what do you want in what do you need in a relationship? There's so much. How does one choose? I want a person that cooks good. That cleans up to themselves, not clean, but clean after themselves. Because hello, we have to be raised to clean like after ourselves. I don't know. I was raised to clean after myself. If I make a mess, I have to clean up after myself. If I use a dish, I wash the dish. I take out the trash before it even gets full. Like, there's times where I'm like, there's still extra room for trash to be. But the thing is, why do you want to wait for extra room? Oh, because I'm being cheap and there's still more room in the trash bag. But it's stinky. The trash is stinky. Let's just take it out. It's the cleanliness of a person, the independence of a person that I'm looking for. Like, it's key. Not only personality, guys, because I once too had that same mentality when I was young, because I didn't know anything. And I was like, I just want a person with a good personality. But I didn't know the key facts behind a good personality, not just a personality. Critical thinking is a key in a relationship. Critical thinking. You can't just, you can make a decision just like that, but just make sure you make the right decision just like that. A person that thinks over the scenarios is a good one. How does one's relationship, like, another good scenario is that, like, facts. If you can think for yourself, figure out the outcomes. Like me, I've always done that. I've always, like, okay, if I'm gonna make this decision, what is the outcome gonna be? But if I do this, I guess maybe because I play video games. I said this a long time ago in my live stream, probably in season 3, about how video games teach us a lot. Video games will teach you a lot, guys. If you don't play video games and you don't know where I'm coming from, that's totally on you. But you learn to make decisions in video games. There's some video games that test that too. That every decision you make has a different outcome. And the storyline will be different. Like, there's another one. There's one. Oh, Life is Strange. Oh, that's such a good game. But yeah. So where we're at, 28 minutes. But yeah, how does one choose? How does one choose? You want a feminine person, but you want a manly person that can change a light bulb. You want to be able. You want your woman to be able to change a light bulb. You want your woman to be able to change her own oil. You want your woman to be able to be independent. You want your woman. To me, I want the woman to do all those things. Not just, maybe I have different feelings in the future, but I would want my woman to do the majority of things like a man could do. Pick up a heavy box. If it's over, 70 pounds, it makes sense. People are going to struggle with 70 pounds. I'm not saying she's going to pick up 70 pounds like nothing and be like, oh, I'm not saying that, but fluctuate with the woman. Like, I feel like the woman needs to be able to do manly things too. Like, I guess since I'm in that perspective where I'm not a feminine woman, I'm just self-reflecting on how I feel like how women could keep a man in their life a little bit longer. For a man, I'm not sure, because again, I'm in that man's perspective from a woman. So like if the man is going out with a woman, I'm looking at that perspective. But as far as the woman going out with the man, I'm not sure because I don't hang out with females like that. I don't know. So y'all, if y'all women, let me know what you want in a man. Like, please don't say faithful, because faithful's out the door. You know, it's just literally out the door. Kindness makes sense. They're the way they carry themselves. It makes sense. No matter, I want a person to carry themselves. I want a person to, figure out that life has all these options that you need to, carry on. Like it's very complicated and sticky to tell me. There's so many choices out there. How do y'all choose? You choose a kind man, you choose a nerdy man, you choose the fat man, you choose the man that's over here that's doing substances, you choose an independent man, there's so many. Same thing with the woman. You choose a feminine woman, you choose the woman that has a big butt, the big tits, the big boobs. You choose the woman that it's very curvy, and you choose a fat woman, chubby woman, like the woman that can clean and cook, and the woman that don't know how to change the light bulb in the house, needs a man around the house. Which path are you want to take? Like there's so many. Because I know if I had a woman, I want her to change the dang light bulb. Why do I have to change the light bulb? You have to be independent and change the light bulb. Oh, sweetheart, can you change the light bulb? Okay. So like, no, bro. Oh man, that's a lot. It's a lot. But yeah, I rambled on too much about this subject. After this video is over, let me know in the comment section. Please let me know where. Let me know what does one want in relationship. Is the question. I ramble on a whole bunch of scenarios. I ramble on about the whole entire subject. Like, hear me out. Be open-minded with being on my channel. I'm a very open-minded person. There's a lot in relationships that people struggle with, and I see it every time that I see a couple, and I see it. And it's sad to me because then, I don't know, it's all mixed emotions. Hello, welcome in. But y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. Because I already let you know I'm looking for an independent person. Just completely independent. That way, you don't have to hold, you don't have to carry so much. Get an independent person, you'll be fine. But it's very hard to find one. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.